Okay, welcome back. I'm now going to continue my 32 and 32 with the Dallas Stars. So last season, Dallas Stars finished with a record of 47 wins, 21 regulation losses, and 14 overtime/shootout losses for 108 points. They finished second in the Central Division, just a point behind the Colorado Avalanche. So imagine how much different that outcome could have been had they got the first spot in that division. Before I go on to their playoff run, and all that other jazz, as is always, sorry, getting all tongue twisted here. As I always do with every team, I like to show off their home jersey and their reverse retro. So this is kind of like an homage to, I want to say, like the when the Dallas Stars moved from Minnesota to Dallas. That's pretty much what their logo used to look like. It had the star, and obviously it had the word stars above the star. So I feel like I've said star too many times, just in that one sentence. So again, it's kind of like an homage back to when the Stars first uh, became a team in Dallas. I'm not going to say that word anymore. I got to say it's interesting to say the least. I'm not too crazy about it. Obviously, if it wasn't a reverse, it would have the green where the black is, and most likely the black where the green is. So I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 on this one. I'm not really too crazy about it, but I don't really hate it at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'll get into their free agents that they have signed thus far, and they've got a few to say the least. So they brought in Craig Smith last year. He spent last year he was split time with the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. Obviously, he didn't have any postseason uh, last year, so he's looking to join a contender, which is the Dallas Stars. So they're adding a veteran forward on that group. Where are we? And then they've also re-signed Hanley, the defenseman, to a 2-year contract. Uh, Two players that are coming over from other teams are Sam Steele. He's coming over from the Minnesota Wild, and Matt Duchene. That's probably one of the biggest ones that they have. His contract was bought out by the Nashville Predators, and then he decided, hey, if Nashville doesn't want me, I'll seek my talent elsewhere. So he's now joining Dallas in that category. Bayweather has signed a 1-year extension with the Dallas Stars. Just trying to see. Ty Delandria, if I'm not mistaken, he has re-signed as well. Yeah, so Ty Delandria has re-signed, and we'll take a look and see who else they got. I think everybody else is pretty much just like AHL players. So uh, yeah, that's all I could find so far. So I'll take a look at the roster, and then we'll get more in depth with the team from Texas. So take a look at their goaltending prospect or their goaltending situation. Just got to adjust this here, so just bear with me. So Jay Gottinger is their starting goaltender. He still has 2 more years left to go on his deal, and Scott Wedgwood is coming into the last year of his contract, so they're guaranteed to have this goaltending tandem for this upcoming season. And we'll just go in alphabetical order and see what is going on and who is still where. So Jamie Benn, their captain and leader, still has 2 more years left to go on his contract. Evgeny Danonov, I believe, has re-signed, if I'm not mistaken. Where is he? I'm almost certain he's re-signed. Where is he on this list? I swear, every time I pull up a list, I'm always missing somebody. I'm pretty sure he's re-signed. As I mentioned before, Ty Delandria has re-signed as well. Max Domi is heading to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Radek Fatska has 2 more years left to go on his contract. Luke Glendening, I just saw him. He is signed with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yanni Hakpana has 1 more year left to go on his contract. Joel Hanley, I believe I had mentioned him at the start, has re-signed as well. Thomas Harley has 1 more year left to go on his deal. Miro Heiskanen has 6 more years left to go on his contract. Rupi Hintz's contract did expire this past season, but he has signed an extension for 8 years at 8.45 mil. Wyatt Johnson has 2 more years left to go on his contract. Joel Kivarenta, take a look and see if he's on here somewhere. He still has yet to be re-signed. Essa Lindell has 2 more years left to go on his contract. Mason Marchment has 3 more years left to go on his deal. Colin Miller, I believe, was traded away. So he's not there anymore. Frederick Olofsson is not here either. So just question marks for that fella. Joe Pavelski just finished his last year of his contract, but he has re-signed for one more year at 3.5. Something tells me this is probably going to be his last season. He might play one more, but when you're almost 38, 39 years old, your future's awful grim. I do apologize. Jason Robertson, the face of the franchise, this has 3 more years left to go on his contract. Tyler Seguin has 4 more years left to go on his deal. Ryan Sutter has 2 more years left to go on his contract. And that takes care of the players that were on last year's team. So I'll go back to the main menu, discuss their playoff run and their expectations for this upcoming season. I should have went the other way. Anyway, okay, so we're back at the main menu. Perfect, there. It's not blurry, it's in focus. So last year, like I said, the Dallas Stars, they finished second in that Central Division. They took on the Minnesota Wild in the postseason in the first round. That was the second time they'd done that since I think the last time they met was in 2016, and they got the best of them then, and they also beat them this time as well in 6 games. They went on to the second round to play the Seattle Kraken. They took Kraken, obviously gave them a run for their money. They took them 7 games to put Seattle out of the playoffs, and then they met the Vegas Golden Knights in the Western Conference Final. And they were pretty much out of it from the very beginning. Obviously, Jamie Benn got suspended for 3 games, and that pretty much screwed everything up right there. So, they went down 3-1 in the series. They did win Game 5 in Vegas, but even when Ben came back for Game 6, it still wasn't enough for them to force a Game 7. So, they were ousted in the Western Conference Final, obviously 2 wins shy of getting into the Stanley Cup Final. I believe for this upcoming season, there should be just as high of an expectation, if not more. I truly think that they should finish within the top 3. Hell, they could even take that Central Division. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, it obviously depends on how Colorado does, and unless there's another team that is in that race. But I truly believe that there's high expectations for this Dallas Stars team in the 2023-2024 campaign. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they made it back to the semifinals, or if they even were able to get into another conference final berth. That would not surprise me at all. They have great goaltending. They have tremendous depth when it comes to the forwards, and they have a really good defensive group as well. So high expectations if you're a Dallas Stars fan. And that's pretty much all I got. As always, thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, take care.